It's a good question. I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, Stephen. I don't think so. I think they're probably more competitive than they are Kabbalistic. They're always trying to steal the march on each other. I'm an ex-banker. I'm sure I'll get, trolled for even saying that on this show, but I was a lawyer for banks for years, and then I became a banker for some years. And they're really good places, but I did find the bosses up on top. I can remember one story. I had to relieve myself one day, and I went in the nearest loo that I saw, and it took a week. But somebody I'd never seen before sidled up to my desk in a pretty expensive, ruddy expensive suit, and let me know that I had used the executive toilet and that the toilet for people like me was down the hall to the left.
It had obviously bothered them all week.
And then he gave me what we used to call in my hometown a blank eating grin, and walked away. I don't think I was ever able to pee there again. I was so stymied. But that's the culture.
Can I just ask you what Christine has been in touch? Hi, Christine. She says, I think it's appalling what's happened to Nigel Farage and many others like him. But what is more annoying is the fact that Dame Alison is getting a lot of money for having to resign. It beggars belief. In most industries, she'd be sacked for what she did. She has resigned and is apparently going to get a £5 million payoff. How can that happen?
Well, she resigned before being what normally would be dismissed for cause.
Yes.
Gross negligence, I don't know if it goes that far, but certainly dismissed for cause. Now, I don't know. Contrary to what you say, I have read reports that the NatWest officials are not saying, we're not commenting and we're not saying we're going to pay her anything. So I'm not sure that that's completely accurate yet. But if they do pay her anything substantial, I mean, it's outrageous in the face of this. It's absolutely.
But most people she'd have probably got it written in her contract, wouldn't she?
Well, she hasn't. But yes, if.
But why? What's the reason for resigning?
Well, no. Stephen makes a very good point. I mean, this is how business works. You see, the deal could be that Mr. Sunak, to his credit, put pressure. The Treasury put pressure to their credit. And then she was told that if she resigns, she'll get a payoff. If she doesn't resign, she'll get kicked out with nothing. She didn't want to go, so they didn't want to kick her out with nothing. So, but it's a deal too far, Anne. It's just rubbing salt in the wounds. How much can we take? Off-gem, 900% profit, 13 interest rate rises that crush us and do nothing. It's one thing after another after another. We are in such a mess. The government, and my goodness, the opposition, is Keir Starmer ever going to say anything about anything? I mean, I would be like a wolf at this point. I'd be snapping.
Yeah, but they're all scared of scaring off the banks. They wanted to make Britain, London particularly, the banking capital.
It is. This is the financial center of the world.
But they'll be scared of putting them off and sending them elsewhere.
Well, I think we're way past that point, and I have received reports, some of them rather extreme, but I received one yesterday from America. It is an identical story of a major American bank doing the same thing to an employee, sorry, not to an employee, to a customer, a business customer, his chief financial officer, his chief executive officer, their families. And the bank stated that their children will never be able in their lifetimes to have an account at this bank. Now, as I read the article, I thought this is sort of steering into conspiracy theory. But the same thing is happening in America, apparently.
It's properly dystopian, isn't it?
It really is.
We've got to leave it there, Roger, but